Gary Payton, how are you guys going to stop? I know Ruben Patterson's going to have the job. Vince Carter, he's been virtually unstoppable in the past 2 weeks since the All-Star break.
Well, you know, a guy like that, you can't come out here and talk about you going to stop him. All you got to do is contain him. If we can do the job on the other fellas, make him do all the work and then contain the other guys, I think we have a good chance of winning.
Now you're the glove. Might we see you for just a moment over there?
If we switch off, yeah, we might. You know, I'm going to try to make him just basically shoot jump shots. When he goes to the basket, he got a lot of leaping ability, and he can get to the basket and get fouls. If we can make him take jump shots, we'll be fine.
All right, Gary, thank you. Good luck to you today. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Jim. Gary Payton will be first team all-defense of the NBA for the 7th consecutive year. 94-77. A hobbled Vince Carter, bad hamstring, played only 25 minutes and scored 13 points. They didn't really need him. He gets off quickly here.
Well, see, he has that great elevation on that baseline, Bob. He can face you or he can turn and jump over you, and that's exactly what he did. Now, Ruben Patterson is strong and is a very good lead points. First possession, gets good position, gets into a nice rhythm, squares himself with his jump, and jumps right over the top of Patterson. Then the next possession, they've got 3 guys now that can stroke that three-point shot. McGrady, Carter, and Doug Christie.
Underneath for Davis, the fine feed from Carter. Carter on the wing, over Barry, and he starts hot. Paul Westphal wants to talk it over. We've played a little more than 4 minutes, and his team is already down 10.
See, Antonio Davis is right here. They're going to get a little back pick and a little alley-oop pass. This is a set play out of a timeout. The nice pass, the great finish. I like it. Toronto, all their guys involved here early in the game. And he brings that with the team, but Gary Payton sets the tone, Bob, for this team. No question about it.
Carter, quick catch and shoot.
See, now, we haven't seen one spectacular dunk from the young stars from Toronto. Watch Vince Carter moving without the basketball, squaring himself. Great footwork, great rotation on his jump shot. The offensive foul on Vince Carter, because he puts his arm over the top and is going to get his position on Ruben Patterson, and you're going to see it right there. That's the offensive foul. Vince Carter wanted to know why it was a foul, so he went and asked Terry Derman, what did I do?
No, he's not grabbing you and dislodging you. The next thing you know is you reach in front of him and pull him back to you.
That's why I went over the top. So
Can't do that. Can't do it. Even if you go.
How do I get around him?
Go around him. He's got as much right to that area as you.
I'm gonna title my face when I run.
If you go around him and he pushes you out, that's his problem.
Terrible shooting first quarter for Seattle.
And when you shoot that poorly, you got to get some second shots, and Seattle's done neither. How about this? Now, that's what I talked about, maturity. Stepping out and shooting that three. The
15 first quarter points, and none of them on drives.
Well, he said, you know what, we'll live with him shooting the jump shot. And he said, okay, then I'll shoot the jump shot. I mean, he's shooting almost 55 quick shooters, quick release guys being matched up against Vern Maxwell. One of those guys get hot, it could change the whole game.
Carter with a fadeaway. He's got 15.
Bob, you know how good that was? He created distance, about him creating distance with his footwork. Watch this now as he steps back. Look at the space created. He actually shoots over the top of a double team. It's nothing but the bottom of the net. And
is getting the minutes. Here's Willis with the reverse. Loose ball into the hands of Carter, who lays it in.
That's his first shot in the paint today. Vince Carter's going to pick up the loose ball, and again, this is his first effort in the lane. You see the beautiful left hand. We've talked so much about Vince Carter today, his great footwork, his ability to drive that ball, create distance, step back. Again, the great footwork, the follow-through on the jump shot, but this should be no surprise. I mean, this guy was the drum major and is cut behind him as he tried to make that pass, and he forced a turnover. So
here's Maxwell. Get it out of here, says Carter. So Max shoots the three from the corner. Tracy McGrady off to Carter, who hits, ending a drought of 5 consecutive misses. He made 6 of his first 9, and prior to that,
his team calm under the face of this Seattle defense and crowd.
Vince Carter rises up and hits a 2. He was just a step inside the line.
I guess a little dose of Vince Carter won't hurt either. Just the poise. Bob, look at him. And you know, with Vince Carter, it's not how, but it's how many. So he steps out on the fringes at the three-point line, and he buries this long two-point shot. And then he comes right back down the floor, squares up, gets a defender on his heels, and knocks in the jump shot.
his way back outside. 5 seconds to shoot, and he will. Lewis had it squirt through his hands. Carter back to McGrady, and Tracy McGrady gives Toronto the lead again.
Now that was a great play by McGrady. He's got 5 fouls. He gets
still not yet 21. He won't be for a couple more months, and yet this is his 3rd year in the NBA.
Well, the recognition, Bobby, didn't try to take it all the way. He pulled up with himself under control to give his team the 2-point lead.
Maxwell and Brent Barry each with 5 for Seattle.
They're going to give him some help. Oh, he got an elbow right in the face.
And they call it on Lewis, the offensive foul, which sends Carter to the deck.
That was an inadvertent elbow. This is not a vicious play by any stretch of the imagination. He wheels to go in, and he catches him on the jaw. Rashard Lewis is making an aggressive play, but Bobby's not the kind of guy who would throw an elbow up there to try to hurt Vince Carter. He just wheels that ball through. That's what you're taught. Swing that ball through the defense. And if a guy gets his face in there, he's going to get hit with it. I know that sounds tough, but that's just the way it is.
Carter will stay in the game with Tom Gugliotta, who is a member of the 3 out of the corner is way short. And the whistle will go against Toronto.
Right there with the quick hands, Oakley gets him on the wrist. Vince Carter had a dunk, but it was after the foul. So now free.
And Toronto leads by 4. McGrady with the reverse. And the tip drops.
Guess who?
Mr. Carter has.
And then on the other end, he takes it, does not finish it. But look at Carter, around 5 Seattle Supersonics, and just muscles himself in and gets that ball to the basket.
Carter off to Williams, and Al Williams finishes it.
What a great set play out of a timeout.
And for those Knicks and Spurs fans who might have thought they were hallucinating in January, in fact, they did play in San Antonio. Today was their first game at the Garden since last June, where the finals ended.
This has been Vince Carter time since All-Star break.
You called it, and he hit it. 32 for him. And Oakley to bring it in with 30 seconds on the clock. Straight to Carter, to the hole. Slamming it down with authority.
The poise of this young player, Gary Payton, all defense, all world defense, and he just takes it to the basket with the powerful finish. That's the first dunk of the game for Vince Carter, and it comes at the most opportune time. Sideline out of bounds, isolation, no weak side defense, and the powerful finish. I'd get a timeout here. That's a broken play.
12 seconds. It's Payton bumping his way through. It rolls off, no good. Ball loose, and Muggsy Bogues has it. Emmanuel Davis, why don't you want a timeout?
Now, the one thing they got away, I mean, as you look at it, I mean, Gary Payton had a layup, and he just missed it. It looked like Vince Carter distracted him there at the last moment. Guy throwing this ball in might get deflected.
It's deflected by Christie, who flips it in. It's in Lewis's hands, and coming out to block it is McGrady. So Toronto's defense comes up big. Now remember, they had another timeout. Speaking of the Sonics, they could have called timeout if they didn't like the setup of things.
I just think that when you have a smaller player throw the ball in, Bob.
It has been a tremendous West Coast swing. What about these games at the end here? How many of these can your heart take, these cliffhangers?
I don't know how many we can take, but we need to get comfortable in these situations and learn how to win them. If we put in them the rest of the year, we have to win them. But we just played a great team in their home building, and that's a big win for us. Thank you.
All right, back over to you, Bob.
Jim, thanks. Vince Carter had 34. Tracy McGrady had 19. Rashard Lewis led the Sonics with 28, but a 97 win. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, Al Pacino and good night, everybody.